Are you a hardworking business owner striving for success online? There is help. Welcome to the School of Internet Marketing podcast, featuring candid conversations and inspiring stories of online success. Now here's your host.
Hi, this is James Martell, founder of the School of Internet Marketing, and today I'm your host, and I'll be talking with Sarah Bundy, founder and CEO of All Inclusive Marketing, a full-service digital marketing agency, and we'll be exploring the question, is working from home right for you? We'll be discussing some of the challenges of juggling family and business life, cost savings of working from home, what a typical day can look like, and just a whole variety of topics answering the question, is working from home right for you? Now, before Sarah joins us, just a reminder to our listeners that if you have questions at any time, you can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/GoGreatMinds. Now, Sarah is an absolutely ideal candidate to help answer the question about working from home. She is an award-winning business owner, an award-winning blogger, and internet entrepreneur, and she does it all from her home office, while at the same time juggling 2 kids and working alongside her husband, Ian. Sarah is also an instructor here at the School of Internet Marketing. Sarah, it's great to chat with you today.
Thanks, James. Good to be here.
Now, this is an exciting topic, and you said something to me before we got started here that this is so close to you that you could actually write a book on the subject.
Yes, I could. With Ian, of course.
With Ian, of course. Absolutely. It's interesting. You and I, we've got some parallels going on here. We both happen to live on the west coast of Canada, in beautiful surroundings, I must say, literally about 5 or 10 minutes apart. We both run our businesses with our spouses, which is an interesting conversation all on its own. And then, of course, we both also work from home. So now there's this dream many people have of working from home. And you've managed to make it happen for you and your family, and the two of you working together. Same with my wife Arlene and I. We've worked at home for many, many years now. And I really wouldn't know how to do it any other way, I don't think. Before we get into talking about who's at home and the challenges of juggling family and business and cost savings and what a typical day looks like, if you could, explain to listeners what type of business you run from home.
Sure. So we own a full-service digital marketing agency. Full service meaning that we do provide expert services in things like search engine optimization, affiliate program management, website development, social media, things like that. So the company itself, this company, All Inclusive Marketing, has been around since 2009. I've been self-employed with my own home business for 5 years. I had a previous partner with a different business before All Inclusive Marketing. So 5 years altogether. Now our company, which is All Inclusive Marketing, in 4 years has become one of the world's most recognized performance marketing agencies. We do have 22 people in the company. And as you had said in the beginning, we have been recognized now for a few different awards and just things that we've done in the industry. So even being able to work from home, we've been able to create a really great reputation and contribute so much to the industry and have some really great clients that, love working with us despite wherever we are located in the world. Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting. I think sometimes people have a tendency to think that if it's a business that's run from home, it's a small business. It's a really little business, maybe just a owner-operator or an owner-operator working alongside a spouse or maybe one employee, where with the internet these days and the ability to telecommute is a word we'll pull back from the 90s, the ability to work from home and to interconnect through Facebook and Twitter and all the tools that we have online. You mentioned 22 people that you now have on your team. Mm-hmm. How many of them work in your home?
We have 4 who generally are here on every day. We have another 6 who are in Vancouver around us and could drive over if they really wanted to. And I do spend every single Tuesday downtown, and our team does sort of gather together every Tuesday and work from a Waves coffee shop because they have a 12-person boardroom there with the whiteboard and wireless internet and such. So we do get together once a week there. And everybody else is kind of in all over the U.S., and we've got a couple people in the U.K., and that's mainly where our team are, is Canada, the U.S., and England.
Now, who is at home as far as the family? Of course, we know your family well, and you got two beautiful little kids and a wonderful husband. Give us a little bit of a lay of the land at who's at home.
So my husband and I, like you said, we live in a very beautiful neighborhood, about a block away from the beach and very close to your house, which is nice because I like to come over for tea and such. Mm-hmm. We have two kids. So our daughter is almost 2 and our son almost 4. And we also have a guest room. So every now and then we have a few people who stay with us, or it's mostly just the 4 of us here.
Now, with the idea of is working at home right for me, I want to really explore that question for those who are considering this as a possibility. Now, there's many things we can do from home. We're not really going to talk about the types of businesses that can be run from home, or even you could bring your career home. I do know a lot of companies now have their employees working in their homes, and there's some challenges to that. There's some great benefits as well. But let's talk a little bit about the challenges of juggling family and business life. How have you managed to tackle that?
It's been interesting. I'd say the number one benefit or asset or saving grace has absolutely been being able to work with my husband from home. I started all-inclusive marketing by myself in the beginning when I was 6 months pregnant. So Ian did have a different job at the time. He was working downtown in a financial institution. And, I had a 3-week maternity leave, quote unquote, mm-hmm. because as a self-employed person who works from home, you don't necessarily get any kind of government benefits or maternity leave coverage if that's something that you're not paying into, at least in Canada, right? Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, it was just myself and my son in a little baby swing or attached to me. And then when he joined the company, it was amazing because, we got to enjoy taking care of Kai together and taking care of business together. And Ian and I are very fortunate in the fact that, one, we love working together. And it's funny because whenever we say to people, yes, we work together from home, people always chuckle and raise an eyebrow and immediately go, oh, how's that going for you? And so, it's great because I don't think a lot of couples are used to the idea of working with their spouse, and potentially some couples wouldn't be able to. In our case, we absolutely love it because our personalities are very different from each other and our skill sets are absolutely opposite each other. So Ian is a finance and operations guy. He's very systematic. He's very logical. I, on the other hand, I'm very outgoing. I'm more of a creative person. I love networking and talking to people. And so we sort of fill each other's gaps perfectly. And it's a little bit easier for us to run a company without stepping on each other's toes. So from an operations standpoint, from a business standpoint, it's great having my husband be my business partner. And it's such a great match. But from a parenting perspective and being able to both be at home and enjoy the kids has been absolutely phenomenal. And it was a challenge in the beginning. It was a learning curve because, when you're in a growth company, you're in a startup company, you always have to be on. And when you're a new parent, you always have to be on. So basically, we haven't shut off for 4 years.
I was going to ask,
Times two kids.
How has the challenge been in separating business from family life?
For us, it's actually been really easy. In the beginning, again, it was really hard. Your laptop is always there, or your home computer is always there, and you always know you have emails to answer, and it's easy for you because you see your laptop over there to just pop on and answer a couple of emails. Yeah, exactly. So it's easy to sort of fall into that and just always be working. So we created sort of a system in our household that's where we're working between the hours of 9 to 5. You don't have to do this. Some people work, really early in the morning before their kids wake up, and then they're around for their kids, and then they work later when the kids go to sleep, or they'll break up their day into when they're most productive. But for us, we had a nanny who used to come here, and she was upstairs and we were downstairs working, and we'd come up and play with her during our breaks and have lunch together and go for walks together. And I nursed throughout both my kids. So, I got a chance to see my children for the first 8 months each, while I was doing that several times a day.
Yes.
While still being able to be very productive downstairs or wherever it was I decided to work. But we decided, okay, the kids are old enough now. Let's send them to, preschool or daycare or wherever they end up going. And we say, okay, we wake up, get the kids ready to go. They get out the door. Usually I start working and we both start working around 9. Up until that time when they leave, there is absolutely no discussion about work at all. It is completely about being together as a family, We have breakfast together. We play with the kids in the morning. Usually they get a bath because my daughter covers herself in porridge all the time. So it's like the 3-time-a-day type of bath type of situation, which is always a really good time. And then, come the end of day, that's it. There will be work there again tomorrow, but we want to be there to enjoy time with our kids while they're young. So 5 o'clock, we go pick them up together wherever they are. They run into our arms. We usually drive down to the beach and go for a walk, or we go blackberry picking, come back, make some dinner together, hang out in the backyard, and, enjoy the evening together. So it is absolutely easy and important for us to separate that work and family life. And weekends, we've been very fortunate now to get to the point where we don't need to work on weekends anymore. But in the beginning, I probably worked 12 to 14-hour days, 6 days a week. And on my 7th day, I still probably worked about a 4-hour day. So that's how I started, and that was with a newborn baby. So
that's very good to point out. I do know sometimes people have this tendency, and I've had to deal with this a few times over the years, is they think you work at home. Sure, you work at home, which means you're basically not working. And you can drop anything at the at the drop of a pin, and off you go. And it really isn't like that, is it? You do, as you say, to get your business off the ground. You said you were not only full on for the kids, of course, but also full on for the business. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good discussion. You also talked a little bit about the home office, and once the kids are out the door, now it's work time. Describe what your home office work environment looks like.
Sure. So our home is a 2-floor home, which is nice for us because we can sort of separate work from kids a little bit more easily. We did in the past, when we were a startup, have just a one bedroom condo. So I had sort of a section of our dining room that was my office. There was a desk in there, and that's where, unfortunately, I just had my work, but I kept it to that area. So yeah, we have a beautiful office space downstairs. It's got a fireplace and couches in it, and 4 people can fit in there very comfortably. But you know what? Because we generally have 4 or 5 people who work from our home, depending on who's here or wants to see us for the day, there'll be a couple people working in the dining room. Our kitchen, we have a sort of a sit-up bar, and some people will sit there on their laptops. Couple people downstairs, and at times I will sometimes find somebody working in the garden.
I did notice a few days ago when I drove by, or maybe a week or 2 ago, I did notice middle of the day, midweek, yourself and the kids out on the front lawn. So you can take breaks during midday, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's important that's one of the benefits of being able to work from home, is to be able to have your kids during your lunch breaks or whatever. You know what? It was a holiday in Canada. That's what it was. Monday. It was a holiday. That's why we were out there. But you know what? Some days that's true. We like to sit outside and go for walks and things like that. So another major, major benefit of being able to work from home is being able to enjoy the environment you're in and not necessarily stuck in an office space or in a building or downtown in kind of concrete world. So yeah, it's definitely a nice place to be. So
I've joked for years that our lunchroom is the kitchen. And my commute is down the stairs, although now that we've moved into a beautiful rancher, we don't have stairs, but my commute is literally now down the hall. And I do know with Arlene as well over the years, our kids are now, our youngest, as you know, Victoria, she's just off to university in September, but we've had the good fortune of being home with them their entire lives as they've grown up. Arlene never did have to go out to a job. I did for a while, but for the last probably 14 years now, we've been home, and it's been a wonderful way to bring him up. In fact, I've got some great photos of Arlene spending time in the kindergarten class with Victoria, or growing up with the school and attending all the events and having the ability to fly off to field trips with Justin into Cuba for 8 days, and just all kinds of things. And which kind of leads to this question about cost savings from working from home. And maybe you could talk to this, whether we're working in our own businesses at home, or we've brought our career home, or we're doing something at home where we're generating our revenues from home. There's great cost savings to working from home, isn't there?
Absolutely. I would say the biggest ones, which are the most obvious ones, are the commute. So the amount of money that you save not having to pay for transportation costs is immense. And even food, to be honest with you, because when I used to work downtown in a corporate environment, I'd always go out for lunch. I'd spend $15 a day on food, sometimes more. And I mean, you're right here, so you just sort of grab what you need to at home, and you save a lot of money on food as well. In regards to the operational side of things, as a business owner, you start to find more frugal ways of being effective. So, rather than signing up for the most expensive and fancy content management system, you're able to find more free resources that are equally good. They might not be as flashy, but functionality-wise, they're great. Or you can build stuff yourself. So on many occasions, we built things ourselves, and longer term, we've saved a lot of money because of that.
Now, being a marketing agency, you're a digital marketing agency, and that's a rarity, and kudos to you for blazing a trail there. But you do have competitors in the advertising industry per se, and I would think a lot of those guys, in fact, I do know it to be a fact, they're tucked into large offices in primarily the downtown core, which costs, as we all would know, a fair chunk of change each month to not only pay for lease and leasehold improvements and everything that goes with having an office. On the flip side, you working from home and going virtual through the internet and working with your team, as you mentioned, in a coffee house that happens to have a boardroom that seats 12 once a week, and you go there. What kind of savings do you think you are experiencing by running it the way you are versus running a business per se in a leasehold environment downtown?
I imagine that we're saving actually several $1,000s a month on it. And that's really important to us because we're able to pass on those savings then to our clients. That's one of the reasons why we probably are one of the best value companies out there, because we don't have overhead that we have to wrap into our pricing as much as some of our competitors. So our price points are for the value that you're getting, the high, the premium service that you're getting. People don't have to pay such a high price for it anymore because of, new technologies and the ability to work in remote locations like this. Therefore, markups aren't going to be as high because you don't have as many expenses to cover. So yeah, price points for clients is a benefit for us as a company for growth, and also to our clients because they save a lot of money too.
What's a typical day look like for you?
Well, with two little kids, wake up is usually sometime between 5:30 and 6:30 in the morning. I would like to say it was later, but that's what it is. So we wake up, play with the kids for a little bit, usually read some stories or watch some cartoons for a little bit while I make lunches. My husband and I were very, very lucky because since day one, we've tag-teamed mornings. And this system has been going on for the last 4 years. So that means every other day, the other person gets to sleep in. Yeah, so Ian will wake up, he'll do the 5:30 in the morning, kind of make the kids breakfast and lunches and hang out with them. And then we all get going for the day together, kiss the kids out the door. And then the next day it'll be my turn. 9 o'clock, we almost always have phone calls or meetings. So we just get the ball rolling. Our days, we kind of joke here and we say that we work a 12-hour day in a 7-hour period, 12-hour day in 7 hours. So everything we do is very expedited because we do want to make sure we have a cutoff time, just because we have such small kids. If we had older kids or, we didn't have kids, that might be a different story and we could sort of spread it out a little bit more. But because of our particular situation, we get a ton of work done within that 7 to 8 hour period. And then we go together generally to pick up the kids at daycare or wherever they are. And yeah, we go to the beach. We go for hikes. We have a very nice neighborhood where we live in where there's a lot of nature. So, this week we went swimming in the ocean and went blackberry picking on the way home type of thing. So that, and then, dinner, bath time, story time, bedtime. And then we kind of do that. So during the day, what does our day look like? It depends on who you ask because it depends on their role. We've got people on our team who take care of our clients directly. We have people on our team who take care of operations and systems and building those out. We have a research and development team whose job it is to look for opportunities for both our clients and ourselves. We have our finance team. We have our accounting team, which is part of our finance team. We have a PA who now works with us full time. And we have our sales team. So marketing and education and stuff like this. So yeah, it depends on who you ask, but it's always busy for us.
Let me ask you a question about, back to this question again, is working at home right for you? So if you could, to the person who's considering this, making the move, And I guess you can do it part-time. Maybe if you're working for someone, you could split the week where 2 days you're working at home, 3 days in the office, or vice versa, and grow into it. There's lots of considerations that need to be factored into a decision to make the move home. Well, any advice that you could offer?
Yeah, I think it's important to think about first where you fit into this, like you said. So are you somebody who is working with a larger corporation who has the option to go and work from home for a couple days of the week? Or are you, a self-employed person who's an entrepreneur and you're looking to resign from, the corporate environment and start your own business? So the answer to that is going to be dependent on what type of person you fall into. But generally speaking, I'd say the people who are most successful working from home, I have found to be the ones who are the most self-motivated and very disciplined. I think the people who have lots of great ideas but perhaps lack focus or don't really know how to work their schedule or really get themselves ramped up and excited about doing things, whether there's anyone there or not to talk them through it, is the people who can do that by themselves are the ones who can generally get these types of companies really, really going. One of the things that I have found has been very helpful too is bringing on a business coach. So we actually just started working with a business coach this month. Some people work with business coaches right from day one, especially if they're not the type of person who's very self-motivated. We're 5 years into being self-employed, working from home. And the only reason at this point we need a business coach is because we've gotten larger than we ever expected to be. And we need that extra level of strategic expertise from a business growth perspective. So if somebody just finds that, hey, I need some help, or I just need someone to keep me accountable, then you can either look at getting a mentor or, again, a business coach. One of the things that I can make as a recommendation from square one is if you're a person who is not any good at systems or finances, bring someone on right from day one who can help you with it, or try and find someone who can help you with those areas. Because one of the mistakes that I made in the beginning was that I dove in, I wanted to have a couple clients and just sort of work part-time at home with the kids. And I had a vision of where I wanted to go, but it happened a lot faster than I had expected. And so because I did not have a lot of what I had in my head down on paper, we felt some of those pains a little bit later down the road when we had to go back and revisit, what were our processes and procedures for particular things. So if you're listening and you're like, okay, I'd like to do this, one of the recommendations I'd make is jot down and write down on paper, not in your head, but actually schedule out what is the process of me doing this? Because that way you become scalable faster if that's something that you'd like to do. Or if you have a sick day or you're just not well or something happens with your family, you can go and be with your family and somebody can come in and keep the ball rolling. Because a lot of what was happening within our own company had to have me attached to it in the beginning for it to happen. So, we corrected that down the road and everything is phenomenal now, but it was definitely a pain point a couple of years ago. And we could probably prevent that from some people struggling through that if they just write it down right from day one. And also, if you're not a very financially focused person, just getting an accountant or some kind of financial person to help you, make sure that you're on track to hitting targets, that you are setting targets, make sure you set goals and objectives so you know what you're working towards. It's a challenge, when you're at home. Two sides. One, being motivated enough to keep going. And two, finding you're so busy but not having any focus, so you're just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. So it's just really important to set clear objectives and make sure if you do have a larger team to have that team completely aligned with what your objectives are as a company.
Would you close out for us by maybe sharing a few of the things that you like most about having a business that you run from home?
Oh, I love everything about it. How do I pick a few? The number one for me is being able to be so close to my family. I love working with my husband. I love having more time with my kids. Removing the 2-hour commute every day lets me spend 2 more hours with my kids or 2 more hours for myself. I like being my own boss. I like working with such an interesting group of people that I get to select of who we work with. You know what I mean? I'm not stuck working with particular people because I was told to. I have that option together as a team. And so personalities work really well together and skill sets really work well together. And you get to sort of direct what the culture of your company is. So I love that piece. And I do love the flexibility as well of just saying, hey, you know what? my kids have a field trip today, or I feel like, going away to the island this weekend. And so you sort of check out an extra day early because you know that, you've taken care of things. So the flexibility, the time with your family and friends, sort of peace of mind that you get to be yourself is really, really great. And of course, working in your pajamas every now and then is a benefit. And the every occasional, once in a while afternoon nap is not a bad thing. But,
now the reality's coming out, the real secrets.
I don't think I've had a nap in the afternoon for about 2 years right after I had my baby. So, but if you are a new parent, just being able to have a nap is something that is obviously a benefit. So, I love everything about it. It's been amazing.
So now, before we go, tell us a little bit about your company again, what you do for people, for those that may have a need for your services. Just give us a little thumbnail of what you offer.
Sure. So basically anybody who is trying to go online or is online, they sell something online, or they're trying to promote their website or trying to promote a product or service and reach a very specific audience, we help them find that audience in a variety of different ways. So if you've got a website or an e-commerce site or some kind of service you're trying to sell online or a product you're trying to sell online, then we're a really great company to consider because of our lower prices, our really great team, and our ability to offer a lot of different things to pinpoint where your customers are.
Sarah, thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. To learn more about the School of Internet Marketing and to get access to all exclusive courses and interviews, visit theschoolofinternetmarketing.com. That's www.theschoolofinternetmarketing.com.